Okay, so this Wednesday he was Todoroki Part 3. Let's get straight into the video because I have zero announcements. Actually, I kind of have one. I'm going to be doing What If That Hugh was a waterbender. I mean, What If That Hugh had a waterbending quake or whatever redo. Because I did it when I first started off my channel, and I just feel like I can do that whole series better. So I'm going to completely restart and do it again. And with that, let's get into the what if. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I had Deku defeat the Zero Corner, so we're just going to act like I did, even if I didn't. And let's have him go to that waiting point when he's waiting for the letters to go get in. And what happens is him and Endeavor actually get into a fight because Endeavor doesn't want Deku to even be try to become a hero at all. So him and Deku, they start fighting, and Deku ends up running away, but Todoroki comes with him, and basically his whole family just leaves Endeavor in that house by himself. But Endeavor ends up finding them at an apartment, and he drags everybody back home, and he just gives them a good 1-2, 1-2, and then he tries hitting Deku, but Deku just spits a wall of fire around him because he would do it to everybody else, but he doesn't know how because he thinks it's going to burn them. So he just spits a wall of fire around himself and sets up to Todoroki, not Todoroki, sets up to Endeavor before he can hit any other of his family members. And Endeavor ends up just walking away. Like he takes, I guess that's what it's called, and he just walks away. Oh, and I'm just saying this because I kind of want to. I think I'm going to change how I tell my what if, because I usually tell them from the third person. I'm Deku said, I'm most likely going to go into the first person, and all when I'm trying to explain something, I'll have Deku explain it in his mind. I'm going to try doing that for what if Deku is a waterbender. So that's going to be a whole another point of view type situation. And then I'm going to do another series, and I'm going to have it in second point of view, but first point of view at the same time. Basically, it's going to be like Deku always has somebody with him, so probably just a little animal that is telling the story. This is following on Deku and telling the story. I'm going to try those two, and whichever one I like more, I'm probably going to stick with because I don't like telling my what ifs in the third person anymore. It just kind of got old. But I'm most likely going to finish up my other two, all my other series into the third person, and all my new series will be in first or second person, with whichever one I pick. Anyway, with that, let's get back into the video. So, Deku and Todoroki, they just start training, and Endeavor tries to talk to Todoroki. Well, I think I should call him Shoto. No, I don't. I don't like calling him that. Never mind. He tries talking to Todoroki, but Todoroki just completely ignores him, and Endeavor starts getting mad and says, "Don't you ignore me?" And then Deku just steps up, and Endeavor just walks away because he knows that Deku can easily beat him, easily. Deku, all Deku has to do is basically snap his fingers, and fire can appear onto Endeavor. Or all he has to do is snap his fingers, and Endeavor can go flying up into the air. But Deku isn't trying to hurt a hero, and even though Endeavor abuses him and literally doesn't even act like he's one of his kids, he still is his father, so he has to have some type of respect for him. Anyway, let's say Deku gets his letter. Endeavor tries ripping it up and throwing it into the trash, but Deku just because Deku has a locator barrier with his sidekick abilities, he basically can track stuff by putting markers on it, and he basically put a marker all around the house, so he knows when something enters the house. Say somebody was trying to break in, he will automatically his marker would go off as this person usually isn't in this house, and then he could go check it out. So he basically got a marker saying that his two letters from UA came in, and he was going to go get them, and he seen Endeavor ripping up one and then putting one back onto the table. So Deku just easily snaps his fingers, and the letter like starts flying up into the air and pieces itself back together and flies right past Endeavor's head, and Endeavor sees it fly right past his head and land right back onto the table. And he knows it was Deku that did that, so he just walked away. And then Deku just grabbed the two letters, and then he called down Todoroki and said that the letters like came in, and everybody except Endeavor gathers around to see if um like they got in. And then like after Deku says like he got in, Todoroki says that he got in, and they basically just celebrate. And after they celebrate, um, Endeavor walks up to Todoroki and asks, "Did he get in?" And Todoroki just looks at Endeavor like with a cold, like with like no feeling in his eyes, and says, "It's none of your business. If you would if you would have been there when we opened the letters, you would have known." And he just walked away. And then let me think. For the like weeks of training, Deku really just works on his physical strength because I need him to be a lot stronger emotionally and physically if I want him to do this thing that I'm about to like make him do. So he just trains emotionally and physically. Oh, I'm not going. I need to say this. So I'm not going to try to spoil it. For the like all the stuff that was happening to Izuku or Deku, like the beast in his head and stuff. That is from the TV show Magicians. The Magicians, I'm pretty sure something like that. That's what it's called. So if you watch that, you know what I'm talking about, kind of now. But I kind of forgot what the place is called. So if you have watched the show, can you like remind me what it's called in the comments? Because I completely forgot and I don't want to call it Creek. So anyway, Deku, he really doesn't. I'm not going to get into the beast stuff for this um part because in the next part, well, actually near the Stain arc is where I'm just going to like have that part like completely dedicated to explaining what happened and like how Deku is going to get to where he's about to go. I mean, not trying to spoil it, but still explain. Anyway, so Deku basically just trains, he meditates, and he figures out that he can teleport. Like he's just sitting there like meditating. Then he hears this voice in the back of his head, and it just keeps getting louder and louder and louder. And it's like saying, "Help me! I need your help." And then like he just teleports, and then he teleported like all the way to another state. So he literally had to he had to pull out his phone, pull out Google Maps, and see that he was in a whole different state. So basically, it took him 2 weeks to get back. So by the time he got back, it was the first day of UA. So he really didn't get no sleep because he knew it was about to be the first day of UA. So like for the last 2 days, he just like walked. So he's been up for 2 days. So he's definitely going to fall asleep in Isol's class. But I'll get into that when that gets into it. So he basically just brushes his teeth, grabs his UA uniform, uh, and like just walks out the door. He doesn't even get breakfast, and he he gets to UA because I'm gonna say he tries to teleport to UA, but he only teleports all the way back to his room because he walked out the front door, then tried teleporting. Then he just teleported to his front room. Like he sat there and meditated for a good 3 minutes trying to teleport to UA, but he failed and he teleported all the way back to his room. So he just said forget it and he walked out the door and he activated his fighter abilities and he basically you know what Bakio does, like where he uses his explosions to fly. He basically did that because he was kind of already running away. And I'm not. Let's go and let's get into the uh, ball throw before I end this off. So I'm going to end it off at the ball throw. No, I'll end it off at the when the villains versus heroes scene arc starts. Damn, I can't speak English. Anyway, uh, Deku. So Deku gets into class like let's say 4 minutes late. So he just walks into you like the class. Aizawa walks like Aizawa was already up talking saying like y'all were 8 minutes late. Wait, no, y'all took 8 seconds to like shut up. That ain't gonna work. And as soon as he says that ain't going to work, um Deku opens the door and Aizawa says, "Oh, we already got a late child." And Deku tries to explain, and Aizawa just says, "I don't care. You can tell me after class." Says like you got detention, and because he says you got detention with Principal, no, not Principal Netsu, with Professor Mike, you can explain to Professor Mike because I really don't care. And he says turn around and walk out the door and go to the gym and go to the locker room so you can get changed. Deku just says, wait, why we're getting changed? Like why we're getting into our um, school uniforms, I mean our gym uniforms. I was always just saying if you wasn't late, you would know. Ask one of your classmates when you get into the locker room. So Deku just like gets into the locker room and he starts changing and he asks Todoroki like why are they changing? Todoroki tells them that they are doing a quirk um strength test, basically that's what I might as well call it. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he looks over and he sees Mineta trying to like that scene where Mineta uses the Pico. He sees Mineta trying to do that, and he just he uses his sidekick quirk to pick up Mineta, and he basically just throws him into the girls' room, and all the girls just scream and beat up Mineta because I don't want Deku to do anything to Mineta. I'd rather have all the girls just beat up Mineta and get that over with. So Deku walks outside, and he's not the first one. I'll say he's like the third one, and he automatically like sees he he just knows that All Might is watching. So he looks at Aizawa and um he's like I'll be right back. I need to go talk to somebody. And he just walks around the corner and says, "So what? Why is the number one hero watching like us like do the quirk strength test?" And um All Might just makes up a lame excuse that he really not believing it but not caring, and just says okay and walks back. And I don't think I had no, I did, didn't I? I had All Might meet uh Deku. I think I did. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say I did. Anyway, my headphones are dying, so I'm going to breeze by this. Deku throws the ball, and I'm not going to say how because I'll be explaining that in part 4. So this is Shadow Master signing out. Don't forget to sub, leave a like, and comment.